Hey guys, let's get more news about Miami Heat, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Jimmy Butler has already sown seeds for next steps as media tantrum offers latest twist in Miami Heat future fears. The Miami Heat have reportedly made Jimmy Butler, the 14-year NBA veteran in his sixth season with the Heat, available to other teams. According to ESPN's Shams Charania, the Miami Heat are open to listening to offers for Butler, who is averaging 19 points, 5.4 rebounds, and 4.8 assists. Butler has led the Miami Heat to 2 NBA Finals since he arrived in 2019, and with the 35-year-old not signing an extension last summer, he could be a free agent in the summer. Butler does have a $52.4 million player option for 2025-26, but with the Heat willing to trade him, it is unclear whether a future in Miami actually exists. ESPN also reported that Butler is open to trade and he does not plan to pick up his player option, but only if the proposal is right. According to Charania, teams have been informed that Butler intends to opt out of his contract at the end of the current season and become a free agent. The 35-year-old is reportedly keen on a move to a contender with the Golden State Warriors, Houston Rockets, and the Dallas Mavericks mentioned by Charania's reporting. Butler is still rated as an all-star level player with an efficiency rate that is the highest that it has ever been in his career, and once playoff season arrives, his history shows he rises to the occasion. Butler is remaining tight-lipped, and the NBA veteran declined to talk media on Tuesday, according to Miami beat writer Barry Jackson. The ESPN article does mention that Butler has an affinity to Miami, but the team, who have proven doubters wrong before, do not quite have the look of contenders. Tyler Herro is starring, but Bam Adebayo is having a poor defensive year, while the Terry Rozier trade is yet to work out. That said, the Heat are 12-10 and 5th in the Eastern Conference, making Butler's stance something of a surprise. Butler reminded everyone back in October that money is not his sole motivation as he chases a first-ever ring. "If we're being brutally honest, no matter what, nothing I do now is going to get me paid any more money, even though I don't care about the money," Butler said. "I'm at a point right now where I have more than enough money. I'm just here to win." Wherever Butler goes, he is likely to have a major impact, but with Miami needing to rebuild and the 35-year-old wanting a title, a trade might just work everyone. Having exited the NBA Cup last week, Miami are up against the Toronto Raptors on Thursday night, before hosting the Pistons. Miami Heat could get Dalton Connect from Los Angeles Lakers in blockbuster trade. The Miami Heat have managed to steady the ship in recent weeks and are now up to 5th in the Eastern Conference table with a 12-10 record. That is decent considering how uninspiring this team had looked earlier on in the season. They still have issues to work out though. One of them has to be the future of Jimmy Butler. It is believed that Butler wanted a contract extension in the summer, but he was not handed one by the organization. He has a player option for next season. Unfortunately, Butler has continued to deal with fitness issues and has spent a couple of short spells out on the sidelines already this season. Also, his output has dropped slightly as well, while Tyler Herro has taken on the role of the Heat's main offensive outlet and thrived in that role as he is playing at an all-star level right now. Sooner or later, the Heat will need to make a decision regarding Butler, who is 35 years old and might no longer be someone they can rely on to get them to a championship, despite his proven playoff record over the years. One cannot rule out the possibility of a trade rather than risk seeing Butler walk away for nothing next offseason. The Los Angeles Lakers, on the other hand, could do with someone like Butler. It feels like LeBron James and Anthony Davis need a third star alongside them in order to put up a genuine challenge for the championship. After a strong start to the season, their form has faded away quickly and they have struggled to get wins lately. In fadeaway world, Ishan Bhattacharya has suggested a trade that would see the Lakers receive Butler and Alec Burks, while the Heat would get D'Angelo Russell, Rui Hachimura, Gabe Vincent, Dalton Connect and 2031 first-round pick, LAL. Of course, this would be a risky move on the part of both teams. The Heat would be saying goodbye to someone who has carried them to 2 NBA Finals. None of the players they would be acquiring in return are expected to be instant game changers. On the other hand, the Lakers would be parting ways with a lot of their depth. Nech is someone who many view as having special potential and has already shown glimpses of that this season. 2 teams are being named as potential destinations for Jimmy Butler. Ahead of the 2024-25 NBA regular season, Pat Riley of the Miami Heat made it clear that the storied franchise was not interested in trading superstar Jimmy Butler, even though all signs seemed to point in that direction. With the trade deadline less than 2 months away, February 6, and the team barely being able to stay above .500 in a weak Eastern Conference, the Heat seemed to be coming around on the idea of potentially moving Butler in a deal this season. Although Butler is likely past his prime at this point, the veteran is still a player who can be a key piece to the championship puzzle for an NBA contender right now, even if he's not the star attraction he is in Miami. According to Michael Scotto of Hoops Hype via NBA Central, it might be a 2-team race to trade for Butler at this point, with the Houston Rockets and Dallas Mavericks interested in acquiring the Heat star. Within league circles, there's been quiet discourse about whether the Houston Rockets or Dallas Mavericks will eventually land Butler, a Texas native, should he and Miami decide to part ways. For now, however, the Rockets are among the top teams with a young core, and the Mavericks remain a contender in the tightly competitive Western Conference. It's also worth noting executives who've checked in on Butler got the impression that Miami wants to figure out their star's future after the season, Scotto wrote. The Mavericks are coming off a trip to the NBA Finals for the first time in the Luka Doncic era, while the Rockets are a team on the rise in the Western Conference, but would become a serious threat with the addition of Butler. It'll be interesting to see where this goes and whether Butler is moved ahead of the trade deadline in February, as it could result in a power shift in the West. On Tuesday morning, it was reported that the Heat and Jimmy Butler might part ways this season after years of working together. There was immediate speculation about where Butler would go, especially since he supposedly wants to move to a team that has win-now potential. According to Bovada, per NBA Central, the Houston Rockets are the favorites to land Butler in a trade. They have plus 250 odds, closely followed by the Golden State Warriors with plus 300. After that, it's the Brooklyn Nets with plus 400, the Dallas Mavericks with plus 500, and the Los Angeles Lakers with plus 800. The Los Angeles Clippers, Orlando Magic, New Orleans Pelicans, Memphis Grizzlies, Sacramento Kings, and Cleveland Cavaliers are also in the mix. Moving to the Rockets would make a lot of sense for Butler. For starters, the team is definitely in playoff contention right now and could be one of the best teams in the West over the next few years. It may be too soon to declare them favorites to win their conference, but they are one of the most exciting squads in the entire league and could be ready to take on a title soon. On top of that, Butler hails from Texas, so playing in Houston would allow him to move back home after years of playing around the country. This is a story that is going to generate a lot of buzz and speculation for the next couple of months. Everyone will be watching closely to see what Butler says, what moves the Heat make, and which team tries to land him. This could be the largest signing at the upcoming trade deadline. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Jimmy Butler? Leave your opinion in the comments.